do this quest. Is it, hey, long time no see, my friend. What's that? You say we just met recently? A heart that always misses its friends. Every second feels like an eternity. And after such a grand adventure, not cry, you must have gathered quite a few stories along the way, yes? Are you perhaps looking for an old friend to talk to? Do you happen to need a bard, one who can turn your tales to verse? If so, come and catch up with me at Starsnatch Cliff. The wine is poured and the strings are already tuned.
Oh,
Okay, well, we're
you're
already
the
near
tone deaf
Starsnatch Cliff.
bard. Uh,
Well, actually, no, we're on the wrong
Apparently,
side.
he wants to hear
I
all
forget
about
that
our
it's on this side.
adventures and not cry. Maybe we can get some tasty treats out of him in return. Come on, let's go to Starsnatch Cliff.
Yeah, I was thinking I could do it this way. Okay. Finally doing the Varka story quest. Did I get any stuff from that? That's good. Now we finally get to do the quest here, and then after that I can do wrong button. This, which will be cool. Hello, Vinti. Nice to see you again for the first time in like 5 minutes. I just saw you in the Turin quest. At least the chapter that we did today.
Ah, welcome back, old friend. And how should I be addressing you these days? The honorary knight of Mondstadt? The Tumaini of Natlan? Or the great hero of Nodcry?
Just call me all my name.
You sure have your finger on the pulse. We've barely caught our breath since Not Cry, but it sounds like you've already heard about what went down.
News travels fast on the wind. But before I can turn your tales into tunes, I need to hear them from the horse's mouth.
A horse's
My
mouth.
wine and my lyre are at
There are
the ready.
horses?
So please, traveler, take a seat and tell me your tale.
Alright, we're gonna tell you everything that happened in Nodtry, Natlin, Fontaine,
Amazing!
Sumeru,
Incredible!
and Inazuma, and Liwa.
Solnari and the doctor? Truly a
That is true. That
total
was an insane
advantage.
story quest. Rakier of Sornari followed by a Triloon-powered doctor. Absolutely ludicrous. And the fact that we're not even in Snezhnaya yet is insane.
So I'm guessing the wild hunt is a thing of the past now that you've defeated the Rahier of Solnari.
Yeah, kind of. It still happens,
Seems
though.
that way. We were kind of focused on dealing with the doctor, though.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, now that the Northern Abyss calamity is finally resolved,
There's still parts of his body
Varka
around.
must be getting ready for the triumphant return of his expedition, right? I haven't seen him in the longest time. He must have so many stories to share.
Sit this down real quick. My eyes having to be annoying. There we go. Sure, they have before.
Paimon was wondering about that, too. He did call you Barbados. But weren't you still fast asleep back when he was in Mondstadt?
Let's call it half asleep. I was resting my eyes in the Thousand Winds Temple one day when I heard a commotion outside.
He was just raw dogging a fight against the Ruin Guard.
Knight who had journeyed there in search of trials and oracles after hearing some tall tales at the local tavern. In fact, all that awaited him were moss-covered walls and an angry Ruin Guard. But he seemed completely unfazed, laughing heartily as he sent the Ruin Guard's missiles flying off into the horizons.
He's just playing baseball with them.
Huh! They must have been making quite a racket if it was enough to wake up the tone-deaf bard.
I want to know. I want to know if someone has actually gone over there, waited for it to shoot the missiles, and then jumped over them with Varka. I gotta do that when I get him.
It sounded kinda like...
That. Is he doing the same thing right now?
Hey! Is that all you've got?
Who the fuck is this? Who is this?
Bring it on.
What?
like that.
Who the hell is this guy? What? This is a new person. Who are you? You've got
Enough already?
uh
Hey, you're not
like
half as tough as
font
Varka
or like
said.
Favonius clothing.
A young knight of Favonius trekking out to the Thousand Winds Temple in search of adventure. Now there's a sight I haven't seen in a while.
The bard in green clothes. Does this mean... Oh, you're Venti? I was just wondering how I was gonna track you down.
Why were you looking for him?
So you were looking for the tone-deaf bard? Strange place to start your search.
I want to try to angle share.
Hold on. Blonde hair, white hair. You must be the honorary knight, and Paimon.
Who is this guy? Oh, where's? I need to see a vision.
You all the time. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lowen, vice captain
Oh,
of the 5th
cool.
Company of the Knights of Favonius and a member of the Expeditionary
Just
Force.
the 5th company again.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
My knowledge of the Fontaine hierarchy has been
Oh,
out of
so you're
out of
part
date
of
for a
the
while.
expedition, huh? Right. So that's why Paimon's never seen you around in my...
That's probably because when the Wild Hunt was still running rampant, I spent most of my time out on my own, making mincemeat.
I'm looking for vision
monsters.
still.
I barely went back to base at all. Then, once the Wild Hunt calmed down, I got sent back to Mondstadt. Mixed blessing, if you ask me.
No wonder we never saw you while we were dealing with the doctor. So, why did Varka send you back?
Deliver some letters.
I was gonna say deliver a letter.
There's one for the Knights of Favonius, one for the church, another for the Dawn Winery, at least 10 of them in total.
Jeez, how many people has he sent to deliver his mail now? Mika, Inepa, Lowen.
Why did he send me
Hire a
Neffa?
full-time mailman already.
Oh, wait. It was Varka that tried sending her towards Nowin, right?
In fact, he's earned himself a new nickname.
Sir writes a lot.
With Sir Writes a Lot.
They know the nickname, huh, John Death Bard?
I'll have you know that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts.
That's true.
So, tone deaf or not, I wear the title of Bard with pride.
It is really funny because he's
And
not
I
actually
consider
tone deaf.
Sir Writes a Lot to be quite a compliment.
Wait, really? Darn it! Maybe Paimon should come up with some harder-hitting nicknames for these two.
Is that right, Flying Lavender Melon? As long as they aren't slurs like a bullshucker.
Anyway, since this young man has come all
Oh,
the
he's
way to the Thousand Winds
Cryopog!
Temple looking for
Okay,
me,
this is cool,
I
actually.
assume he must have a letter for me too. Am I right?
Okay, he's actually like... Okay, Cryo fits this design really, really well. I actually really like this design. He's got a really nice mix between the Favonian style and the Pyramida style. Is what I'm seeing. It's cool. I love this design.
You sure are. To use the Grand Master's own words.
This one is for the bard in green clothes. These days, I think he goes by Venti. Doesn't really have an address as such. You could start by asking around in Mondstadt, or maybe try your luck at the Thousand Winds Temple.
I figured that since there was this punching bag here, Ruin Guard, I could get some practice in while I was at
Field
it.
tiller.
So, I came right here the
He's got cool eyes.
back to Mondstadt.
His eyes kind of feel like villain-esque, but not like villain-esque, you know?
That Varka is so slapdash sometimes. It's a good thing we happen to be nearby.
That's what we're saying.
He also said to remind you to write back.
Nothing in particular. Just some idle chatter between two drinking buddies. But if I'm supposed to write back this time, I'll need some time to mull over my response.
He's gonna not do it through Lohan, and he's just gonna make a paper airplane and then throw it and then guide it with the wind.
Varka gave you a whole bunch of letters to deliver, right? Maybe you can head into Mondstadt and deliver the rest of them first?
My thoughts exactly. Assuming I can find the way. Hopefully the roads haven't changed too much since the pre-expedition days.
Yeah, it should be the same.
Why don't we have Mondstadt's honorary knight escort this homeward-bound wanderer to the city? I'm sure some of the recipients of Varka's letters will turn out to be old friends of yours.
Yeah, I have no objection.
No! It's been a while since Paimon's done any guide work.
Yeah, when have you ever actually done guide work? I'm gonna be so for real. I'm sorry, but like, have you really ever done anything? That is a genuine
Thank you
question.
so much, honorary knight. And you, Miss Guy.
This guy is pretty interesting, I'll say that much. I do like how he has a lot of like the Varka design elements, which definitely shows he's part of the same expeditionary force. But I also like how he's got like the more cloak look, along with the large straps on like the back, which have given me the feeling of Flynn's. So like the pyramid outfits.
The abyss. The wild hunt.
Andreas?
Get home safe, Varka.
What the fuck is happening, dude? You can't just say nothing.
Why do my ears feel so hot all of a sudden? Is someone talking about me?
Are we gonna start playing as Varka? Please don't move, play as Varka. Please don't move, play as Varka. Please don't move, play as Varka. Please.
Surely there's no way anyone found the secret stash of cash in my office. That would be terrible.
Grandmaster, bad time to get distracted.
Watch out! Enemies approaching!
Oh, hello.
Huh? Oh, it's just a few stragglers. They're no real threat to us. This expedition is almost over. We just need to deal with these final few targets. We will make our triumphant return!
Yay!
Huh? On me! Stormwind!
Yay! I love this dude. Unironically, I love him so much. Unfortunately, I don't have any elements in here, but he's still really fun. Otherwise, he's one of my. He is my. Sorry, one of. He is my favorite kit in the entire game.
Like all that's left is their primal urge to destroy.
If this is all that the Wild Hunt can muster now, surely the Lightkeepers of Nodcry will be able to deal with what's left.
Just like I thought. What we should be wary of now is...
Grandmaster, based on Lightkeeper intel and our own reconnaissance, one of the suspected targets should be just up ahead.
Good. You know the drill. Stay here and stand guard.
Yes, Grandmaster.
One of the suspected targets, eh? What's it gonna be? Oh.
We meet again, Andreas.
Whoa, what is this? Face the wolf spit.
You've returned from Mondstadt. Don't you want to see what it looks like now? I was planning to take a look around there myself. Perhaps you could be my guide.
What's this? An echo from 1,000 years ago?
This is interesting for sure.
Everything seems normal so far. Here's hoping I'm just overthinking things. There are 2 other places to check. It's your turn, my friend. Come, Andreas!
Oh? What is this?
Although, for returning to your old home, perhaps Andreas is a little too ostentatious. Might be better to go by...
Boreas.
Glorious.
Huh?
Injustice. Corruption. Iniquity. Is the surface world still as wretched and foul as ever?
This is interesting. Different voice style.
Me, heir to the knighthood of Boreas.
Who is this supposed to be?
Looks like I'm not getting out of this without a fight.
Well, it's like a different version of Andreas Morius. This is cool. Do I still have food in here? Oh, I do. Should probably eat it at some point. I don't like how they're not giving me any elemental characters to work with, because,
That's where things stand with the expedition. The victors will be returning home soon, so make sure to stock up on wine for the celebrations. P.S. I hope everyone's keeping up with their daily training. I'll be testing you all when I get back to make sure no one's regressed. P.P.S. I wrote individual letters for each and every one of you. Don't forget to write back.
Everyone gets one? Wow! sure writes a lot is really living up to his name.
I guess the Grand Master must have something specific to say to each of us. Even I got a letter.
Jean?
Oh, yes. That's our Grand Master for you.
By the way, anyone know where I can find the cavalry captain? I have a letter for him as well.
Probably doing something on his own again.
You mean Kaya? He said he was meeting a friend from the church at the Angel Share.
Is he meeting Toma?
Allegedly for work. Said he was exchanging intel. But I'd say there's a 50-50 chance he's just there for a drink.
Could it also be Thane?
My mom bets there'll be lots of familiar faces there. How about we deliver Kaya's letter?
Really? Oh, that would be a great help, thank you.
Who's this voice actor, by the way? Wait, hold up. I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. Is that the voice actor for Child?
Our thanks to you too, Lowen.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Brian Griffin. What's his name again? Hold on.
Journey. Please go get some rest.
Hold on. Look at this real quick. Griffin Burns. I knew it was Griffin, with it, and then there was another one with a B. My brain just instantly went to Brian Griffin. Okay.
Great, but I won't be resting just yet. I have one last letter to deliver to Wolvendom. This one, I was planning on delivering personally. I heard that another challenger recently passed Boreas's trial. Well, with
That's
luck,
me.
that wolf might be willing to reveal himself to me, too.
Very well. But please remember to show respect to the local wolves.
I will. Goodbye.
Oh wait, there are actually, I was about to say, what wolves, but there are actually wolves there now. Yeah. I think she was told directly about what he's doing there. The answer to what that is, though, is unknown. Okay, let's talk to Noel, of course, first, because we love Noel.
Grandmaster offered lots of advice in his letter regarding my recent assessments. I didn't think he'd spare a thought for that kind of thing in the middle of an expedition. So, Honorary Knight, if you have the time, do you think you could help me out with my special training?
I'm not sure what it would be other than... Like, I don't know what else would be helpful for her training, to be honest. If it doesn't have anything to do with strength, for certain. She's one of the physically strongest characters in the entire game. That isn't a literal god.
He wants to test me to see if my skills have regressed? I still haven't forgotten how he went easy on me last time. I'm assuming you must have seen him going all out before. When the time comes, you'd better keep an eye on him for me.
We actually didn't get to see him fight very much. Which is why we didn't even know he had a double, like, thing. Hey, Lisa.
Ah, the Grand Master. The archives are filled with documents awaiting his review. I'm not letting him run off again until he's finished dealing with every last one. On another note, have you spoken to Jean?
Oh yeah, she's definitely gonna get a chance to relax. Because all that work's gonna be piled on him. It's gonna be awesome. Oh, hello. Okay, I knew there were gonna be more of them out here. There's of course a bunch of these other guys out here. Sugar's is just standing over there by the thing. Oh, is she talking to Klee, who's probably still in there? Hello, Mika and Ember.
Okay, we'll deliver these letters to the Adventurers Guild and the Cat's Tail. You can just handle the ones for the Angel Share.
The expedition is finally wrapping up. Oh, I hope the maps I made on our way there are good enough to get them safely home.
Talk to Sukosh.
The Grand Master wrote in his letter that the Boom Blossom bombs we sent worked really well.
So, I did not mean to do that. I'm going to go upstairs first, actually, before continuing.
Honorary Knight, you're still here? Is it that obvious?
Yes, very obvious, in fact.
Huh? But Varka's coming back.
True. From what you and Lowen have told me, the expedition has indeed accomplished its strategic objectives. It seems that Mondstadt no longer faces any threat from the perils of the North. And yet, for some reason,
I can't help but recall something the Grandmaster said to me before he left.
If I don't make it back from this expedition, you'll have to assume the mantle of Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius. If it comes to that, remember to train the next Knight of Boreas in my stead. I've planted some promising seeds in Mondstadt, but they still need time to grow. Some have yet to master the art of social interaction. Some don't yet understand that they too need protecting. And some, well, some might not even want to be a knight yet. What's wrong? Ah, well, there's no need to frown. I'm going on an expedition, not marching to my death. This is all just a contingency plan in the event that I'm unable to return. Until I return, I leave them in your care.
The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in Mondstadt's history. The first wandering knight to claim the title arrived in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago, along with his wolf companion. He was as free as the wind. He left no succession plan behind. Even his name was lost to history. The title of Boreas could have disappeared from Mondstadt just as he did, but he had an informal disciple, a knight named Ravenwood, who admired the Knight of Boreas greatly. Ravenwood's valor and swordsmanship earned him the wolf spirit's recognition. When the old aristocracy tried to regain power, Ravenwood came once more to Mondstadt's defense. From then on, the title of Knight of Boreas was passed down from generation to generation within the Knights of Favonius.
Wolf spirit? You mean that big blue wolf in Wolfenden?
Correct. As you may already know, the Wolf of the North is the surviving spirit of an ancient god, and the Knight of Boreas serves as an intermediary between him and humanity. Lupus Boreas, who had never known what it meant to love, came to understand it through the journey with his human companion. This was once a well-known tale in Mondstadt, but these days, few people are aware that the starting point of the Wolf King's journey was not Mondstadt, but Nodcry.
Which makes sense why there were so many wolves in Nodcry.
You don't seem surprised. Did you
Oh,
sense
yeah.
something in Nodcry? Once again, you do us proud.
Oh yeah,
Honorary
I remember
Knight.
doing that little puzzle. It was cool. I was very surprised when I saw Boreas. I was like, "There's a whole one."
The
I was
Great
like, "There's a
Wolf
one
King of the
now?"
North came here from Nodcry. Although he doesn't like to speak of his past. In fact, he rarely shows himself to people at all nowadays. As such, this tale can only be found deep within the Knights of Favonius library. The Grand Master didn't disclose any concrete objectives before departing on his expedition. I couldn't help but wonder whether it might somehow be related to Nodcry's Wolf of the North. I kept my speculations to myself, however. Sharing them would only spread unwarranted suspicion toward the Four Winds among the people of Mondstadt. You experienced the turmoil caused by Deval and the East Wind's actions for yourself.
No wonder Varka wasn't clear about his motives.
Very possibly. He was probably also reserving judgment. Having heard about your experiences in Nodcry, I now suspect that the Grand Master hadn't yet ascertained the true identity of our enemy at that time. And as it turns out, the Calamity born in the north wasn't an ancient god, but rather the Wild Hunt and the Doctor. I guess we were both jumping to conclusions. Yes, I completely agree. The tide can turn rapidly in times of battle. It's a leader's responsibility to prepare for every possible contingency.
Not to mention that we did also all almost die. We just barely managed to win against first the Raker of Solnari. That was a hell of a fight to have to do against a 10% version of him. And then we also had to fight a souped up doctor who was one of the most powerful beings in all of Tevat at the time of his increased power. And the only reason we managed to stop him is because we were able to take the power of the Triluna away from him for the most part, thanks to having Columbine on our side.
Even if his contingency plan never needs to be put into action, I'm sure the Grand Master is relieved to know that it's in place.
Okay, now let me check around. I need to see if there's anyone upstairs. I What are we not using the upstairs anymore? We have sucrose, but no albedo. Lock it in. Cannot sleep, there's a fever.
That turned into a pretty long conversation, huh? We should probably go deliver those letters to the Angels share now.
It twice. It's just to see. You can dream, I don't wanna wake. By you.
When you're mixing drinks in hot weather,
Oh, sorry. Oh.
start by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes. Then drain out the water before adding the other ingredients.
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least. You'll have to offer something a little more substantial if you're serious about trading.
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so loudly? Especially if you're supposed to be exchanging confidential information.
Hiya! Rosaria! D-Luke! Paimon knew we'd find you here.
Looks like it's about to get even noisier.
Yeah, I love you, DeLuke.
A little liveliness never killed anyone.
Please allow me to once again express my sincere condolences regarding your late father and the incident with Eric. We make absolutely no excuse for his crimes. I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask by now. The Knights of Favonius will always welcome you.
I'm gonna look up Eric really quick. It's been a long time since I read the manga. Oh, this motherfucker. Yeah. He was an old inspector in Mondstadt. Yeah. Yeah, reading it directly from the profile. Eric was born in the same generation as Crippus, Frederick Gumhill and Varka. While he often criticized Varka for his shortcomings as a knight, the two were friends. After becoming Grand Master, Varka placed a great deal of trust in Eric, left him in charge of Mondstadt's affairs whenever he left for expeditions, unaware that Eric had grown resentful of his position and popularity. Dottore capitalized with this, convincing Eric to turn traitor so they could lay claim to the power of the heavens. Eric unsealed Ursa the Drake and conducted an experiment which ended with Crippus dying while fending off Ursa. Eric's subsequent cover-up enraged DeLuke, and he resigned from his post as captain. The truth was also discovered by Jean, who informed Varka via letter. Varka conferred her the authority to investigate and punish Eric, and returned to Mondstadt as quickly as he could. Eric, ousted and cornered, committed suicide in front of Varka while laughing in his face. Okay, yeah. I forgot about that dude. He was the dude that basically went, we will not sell anything about what actually happened, and say that, what was the specific excuse? They wanted to say that the person who fended off the dragon was not D-Luke's father, Crepus, or Crepus, I can't remember how you're supposed to pronounce it, but instead the Knights of Favonius themselves to maintain the authority of the Knights. Or the not authority. Whatever, they're like social standing, basically.
From the look on your face, I'm guessing the Grand Master is still refusing to drop it?
He nags like an old man.
Huh? Drop what?
Nothing, really. Before leaving on the expedition, Varka came here to chat with me over a drink. He, asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Favonius, and I declined. He expressed his regret about everything that happened, and asked me to reconsider. That's all there is to it.
I don't blame him. D-Luke is one of the strongest characters in the entire series. Not only does he have access to, well, he had access to abyssal powers through a Fatui device using the power of the olden gods, but he also is one of the best combatants. Period, because he consistently fought and won against the Fatui, and would occasionally fight Harbingers in direct combat without a vision. He literally left his vision at the Knights of Favonius when he left on his own after leaving the Knights of Favonius. And not to mention, he was one of the, he was the, I believe, the youngest person in history to ever receive the title of captain among the Knights of Favonius at the age of like 14. He was insanely strong, and still is. So it makes sense they want him back. But I mean, after what happened, he can't. You just can't trust the Knights anymore.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you skipped a lot of detail.
Whatever details I chose to omit are in the past.
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it go.
I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot of time to reflect since then, but my answer remains unchanged. I'm not rejoining the Knights of Favonius.
He's gotten too used to doing stuff on his own. It's much easier for him.
Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright and honorable. I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead. They need someone on the outside to keep watch vigilantly.
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that
I actually leave him. I agree with
I
him.
usually don't disagree with the first part of what you said. But don't you think someone can keep tabs on things from the inside?
That's what you're doing, Kaya. He doesn't need
When
to.
you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on the surface.
Rosario would know that for sure.
You think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of the church?
Yes.
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the church
Hey,
and
she
not the
definitely
Knights to
has.
begin with?
Are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell.
They're flargoing.
Oh, kind of like the contingencies Jean was talking about. The more ways they have to protect their home, the better.
What the fuck was hoping for? Wait, where's Rosario? Where did she go? She could be upstairs. Oh, hey.
If you hadn't had to deliver that guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble for other people.
It's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work. We just volunteered to do the last leg of the journey. Mostly so we could come say hello.
So you see what's really going on here? All three of us fell for that old rascal's scheme far too readily.
Huh? Scheme?
No. While I'm sure Varka knows full well that Diluc would never agree to rejoin the Knights, I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine. There are people like Kaya and I, and then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those people are the most susceptible to being driven to extremes by great upheaval. Not only that, but it happened to a Knight of Boreas. That'll really hit home for Varka. And that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual. Yeah. So no one's told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in history.
What was the second one?
Wasn't Jean telling us about this? Wait.
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started yammering on. The second crisis in the Knights of Boreas lineage.
Of course, it was 500 years ago. It's always 500 years ago. It's always 500 years ago. It's the stupid Conrian disaster.
Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been truly recognized by Lupus Boreas over the past millennium. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, the wolf pup Rostam, and Varka himself.
So yeah, the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, Wolfpup Rostam, and Varka. So there's 4.
But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title. He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest Knight of Boreas who ever lived. He was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland.
Roland.
The blood-stained knight.
Whoa, wait! It's it's the fucking artifact set. It's Bloodstained Chivalry. Holy shit! Hold on. Hold up. It's the fucking artifact set. I just realized bloodstained chivalry. That's why it's called that. Hold on, I gotta find the details. Give me a moment. Yeah, like let's read the before I end this recording shortly. I should probably end it soon. But like here, bloodstained flower of iron, a dried flower stained black with blood and now as hard as steel. Probably some sort of a memento for its former master. Yeah, a common white flower given to the knights by a rescued damsel. It is dried and hardened by the blood from all his bloodshed. Thanking him for his valor, the damsel offered a reward. He turned down all she gave, save for a pure white flower. For a knight, chivalry is its own reward. This flower shall be my medal. That is all I need. He wore the flower upon his heart. Like his armor, it was stained as black as a winter's night. Like his heart, it was hardened like a tempered blade. And then blood-stained black plume, a raven feather pinned to a knight's cape. Countless blood stains have dyed it pitch black. One of the countless raven feathers stuck to the bloodstained knight, for where there is blood, ravens shall follow. In the end, the bloodstained knight could no longer tell whether the blood that had stained him was his own or that of his enemies. Eventually, on his long journey filled with bloodshed, he came to realization. His path of so-called chivalry had turned him from the white knight he used to be into the monster he had now become. His only followers were the ravens drawn to the bloodshed he left in his wake. In the bloodstained final hour, which is the sands, a timepiece once used by a knight, the liquid inside has dried up, rendering it useless. Deep in the abyss, where celestial bodies cast no light, the bloodstained knight kept his timepiece, though time had lost all meaning. At an end was the bloodstained knight's story, for he realized there was no place for him on this earth. He ventured into the fallen ancient kingdom and died in battle in the monster's lair. At the bottom of the world, he learned the origin of the monster that destroyed the ancient kingdom. The ancient kingdom was wrongfully cursed, turning its inhabitants into monsters, Conria. The code of chivalry tolerates not such injustice. If abyss be thy name, I pledge to you my loyalty. Bloodstained Chevalier's Goblet, which is the goblet. The dark metallic vessel owned by the Bloodstained Knight, its exterior has been stained as black as the night, but by smoke and coagulated blood. Originally an exquisite silver goblet with gold engravings depicting the feats of a chivalrous knight, but blood and smoke have stained the cup beyond recognition. Covered in blood, the knight who slayed demons returned from a scorched battlefield, only to find that those awaiting his rescue were nowhere to be found among the burning, collapsed houses. Defeated, the bloodstained knight took the smoke-blackened goblet and vowed to rid the world of monsters, of poverty, and of evil. The blood-stained iron mask. The iron mask the knight used to conceal their identity. Many have speculated about the face behind the mask. A luxurious platinum mask that once belonged to a knight of noble birth. The dark stains of dry blood are now a permanent part of its appearance. As the bloodstained knight reached out to help a person in need after slaying the monster, the way she cowered in fear made the knight realize he was now a monster himself. Tainted by the blood and cruelty of his drawn-out war, and it's a link here which goes to the Cataclysm, shield me from the eyes of those who I vowed to protect, and shield them the horrors I am bound to effect. It's fucking incredible. I love this freaking artifact set too, like effect-wise, 'cause it's actually pretty interesting. It's just a physical damage bonus, which it would make sense for a knight that doesn't actually have a vision. But the other effect is charge attack damage is increased and reduces stamina cost to 0 for 10 seconds, or after defeating an opponent. So basically, it's meant to be like you're constantly going after more enemies. You in the midst of the bloodshed, you do not feel the weight of your stamina, and you can keep going and going. It's a snowball effect type thing. It's cool. I love it. It's genuinely so awesome. And we finally get to see the dude. We get to see him wear the mask. Roland.
Bloodstained Knight?
I didn't know his name was Roland though, because that doesn't show up anywhere in here. Yeah, it doesn't show up anywhere in here about Roland. Now, let me search Roland real quick. Roland, here we are. Where's this image from? Oh yeah, he's also the one that uses the black sword. The one I got forever ago. It is Bloodstained Knight. And previously as the White Knight was a noble-born member of the Knights of Favonius, served in London 400 years ago, mentored by the Master of the Knights, Wolfpaw Rostam, who taught him chivalry, justice, and swordsmanship. As a result, became a powerful knight obsessed with justice. He also had a blind brother who traveled different nations to follow his siblings' footsteps, but ultimately died in Sumeru. Blacksword was a weapon, while the artifact set Blizzard's chivalry were his possessions. It's awesome. I love this image. Where does this image show up, though? We probably get to see it later. It's a cool image.
Well, apparently his original title was the White Knight, but he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago, including his tutor and mentor, Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black, transforming the White Knight into the Blood-Stained Knight. After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters, leaving Mondstadt and the Knights of Favonius behind. To this day, no one knows his final whereabouts. It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far gone to save. But had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back, perhaps things would have turned out differently. So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never say yes, is to let him know
That's
you're
cool.
not
That's
alone.
cute too. That's cute. I feel like Diluc is gonna be would be like the next in line for the Knight of Boreas. Either that or Lohan. On top of that, his weapon is the Wolf's Gravestone, so it would make sense. And there's also the thing about if we ever do get an SP in this game, so far we have had literally none. I feel like the SP would be of Diluc first. I feel like he would be the first one to get an SP, but the likelihood of that is kind of slim. I don't feel like the Genshin team is ever going to make one, unlike the other games.
After all these years, he's still as persistent as ever.
I cannot believe we got to see freaking Bloodstained Chivalry more. Lore.
Anyway, there's still something about this whole Boreas business that Paimon isn't really getting. If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? Plus, Paimon's super curious about what happened to Roland. That's a great idea!
Alrighty, I'm going to start recording because it's 42 minutes in. We got freaking... Oh. Wait, we're only talking to her? That's interesting. Weird.